Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. This is it. This is the big one. Manchester United versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League. It's like 1999 all over again.
Yes.
Joining me, as always, for this preview is Mr. Joe Smith.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
We win.
Yeah.
Copenhagen and Galatasaray draw.
Yeah.
We're through.
Yeah.
But the big part of that is we need to beat Bayern Munich.
We need to win.
Yeah.
We have to beat Bayern Munich. Well, we did it in 2010, didn't we, in the first leg?
Yeah.
Have we done it since? I don't think we have.
Not that I can recall. I remember under Moyes, I think we drew, didn't we, at Old Trafford?
Yeah.
And got battered at the Allianz Arena.
Yeah. I think the last time we beat him was 2010.
Yeah.
And obviously we lost the tie overall. The good thing is, United are sort of this weird kind of oscillating team at the minute. We either lose and look shit, or we win and look pretty good.
Yeah.
And there seems to be nowhere in between. The last time we played him, we lost and looked shit.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that this can be our win and look pretty good moment. But we have to, again, I keep saying this, other than the Chelsea game, which is hard to, are Chelsea a big team? That's up for debate. We've not beaten one of these big teams yet, one of these big moments. And we've got to start doing it, because otherwise you just have a season that is underwhelming from start to finish.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that's been the sort of frustrating thing for me is, even in our dark days as United fans, post-Fergie, we've always had one or two results against big teams. Ole had a great record against City. Van Gaal had a decent record against City, a very good record against Liverpool. Other managers have managed to pull results out. It's just not been happening recently under Erik ten Hag. Last season, we did beat the big boys at Old Trafford. This season, every time we've come up against a big team, we've just not turned up, basically. Maybe Arsenal away, we had a little bit of a decent spell, but other than that, it's been very, very underwhelming. We need a win.
Yeah.
He's got to pick a strong team. We're aware that we've just been battered 3-0 off Bournemouth. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but give us your predicted 11, a team that he's going to send out, and hopefully you can explain to us why this team can win. Yeah,
I think that it's just on the Bournemouth game.
Yeah.
I do think that game was slightly unfair in terms of final scoreline.
Okay.
I know obviously they deserved their goals. I'm not saying they didn't deserve to get the goals, but I think you look at the chances that were made across the whole game, they didn't make a lot, and they've scored all of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the scoreline was slightly favourable for Bournemouth, but I still think that we need a couple of changes. So I've gone Onana in goal, back four of Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof and Luke Shaw. I think we need to see Luke Shaw back at left back, not because he's not been very good at centre back, but I just think he's better at left back.
Yeah.
And we need some attacking outlet and those overlaps. Then a midfield three, which I've sort of picked and changed the best bits of what I've seen over the last few weeks. I've gone with Amrabat, Mainoo and Bruno, and I've taken McTominay out. I just think, other than getting in the box, he's not really doing a lot. And to only be a goal threat, you have to be an Erling Haaland, a Bas Dost, a Mario Gomez, someone who's getting you 40 goals a season.
Yeah.
We allow them to not do anything else because they are winning you pretty much every game.
Yeah.
You can't be only a goal threat, not do a lot else, and score 12 goals a season. That isn't possible.
Can we just slightly address the elephant in the room?
Go on.
That almost sending out your team with the strategy of building it around Scott McTominay is mental.
It is.
It feels like that's what we're doing at the minute.
I do think that if Casemiro and Mount and Eriksen or two of those three were fit, we wouldn't see McTominay.
No, I agree.
We saw that last season. He's not his favoured choice. The problem is, when Rashford isn't 30-goal Rashford, he's 4-goal Rashford.
Yeah, I agree.
Højlund hasn't scored in the league yet. Anthony doesn't seem like a goal scorer regardless of what form he's in. Even though I think he's actually played pretty well recently, he still doesn't look like he's going to get you a goal.
No.
And Bruno's up and down because, that's kind of what Bruno's been at the minute. So when no one else is scoring, you need someone to score.
No, I agree. I
but that doesn't mean that Scott McTominay still has to play every single week, and also bring him on as a sub.
Yeah. That's his best role for me.
Yeah.
Like if you genuinely needed a goal, and you saying I'm bringing on, so I ain't got a problem with that.
No.
He's proven he can get in the box and score goals.
Yeah.
It's when your strategy, your tactic seems to be right. We're going to try and get Scott McTominay on the ball as he's getting into the box.
Yeah.
He's got us 5 goals this season, or 5 Premier League goals this season.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. And I think that's insane.
Yeah.
Because like you saying, against Bournemouth, we saw the worst parts of Scott McTominay's game, giving the ball away, letting the game pass him by, and obviously he didn't score, so there wasn't any justification for it where you go, well, at least he got a goal. Yeah. And when he doesn't score, as you said, it's not great to see.
And the front three as well. I've brought Rashford back in because I think Ten Hag will bring him back in.
Yeah, this is predicted. Well said.
And then Højlund, I think, has to play over Martial. How many more times do we need evidence and proof of that? I almost think he was resting him against Bournemouth. I don't think he wanted to bring him on. I think it was in, with this game in mind. Unfortunately, we had to bring him on and it still wasn't enough. And Anthony, I think, keeps his place on the right-hand side. But that midfield, I think, let's try and actually control the game. Amrabat's energy and passing, Mainoo's composure and steadiness, and then Bruno sort of bringing the ball up the field. If we need to get a goal late on, then bring on Scott McTominay. But we can't have a player who's making 25 passes a game when his midfield partners are making 50, 60, 70. It's just, not sustainable.
You can't have a player like that against Bayern Munich.
Exactly.
I mean, you didn't get away with against Bournemouth. Bayern Munich, forget it.
Yeah, what are you going for?
I think he might shuffle his pack. I think he might go tactically a little bit different.
Okay.
I've got it as a 3-5-2, but it's more or less a 5. It's a 5-3-2.
Okay.
I think he might stick an extra defender in there.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go 3-5-2, I'll talk you through it. I've got Onana in goal. I think he'll keep his place. I don't think we're going to see anything change there. I've got a back three of Shaw. I'm wondering whether Varane gets a chance. Yeah. Champions League Varane. Could be our last game in the Champions League for a while. I'm wondering whether he just goes, look, get in the team, show me what you're about. Let's try and move forward. So I've gone Shaw, Varane, and Harry Maguire on the right hand side. Your wing backs, I've got Dalot on the left hand side. I've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right hand side. My midfield, I agree what you say about Scott McTominay. I've got Mainoo, I've got Amrabat, I've got Bruno Fernandes, and I've got 2 up top. And I agree what you say about Marcus Rashford. I've got Højlund and Rashford. This is my predicted 11. It's not what I would pick personally, but I think he might shuffle it and go, look, we saw in Munich the trouble we were getting from there, not just from their wingers. And I think they're missing Serge Gnabry's out in it, but their fullbacks. Alphonso Davies was getting down one and causing. Yeah. Poor Palestri was asking to do a job on him, was having all sorts of dramas. So I just think when you've got sort of 3 centre backs and wing backs, someone can help cover. Shaw can help cover Dalot, he probably needs a bit of help, and Maguire can help cover Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Get involved in the comments in the chat. Let us know whether you agree with myself, Joe, or you think Erik ten Hag will pick a different team. We're recording this before any press conferences, so we haven't had any updates, but the players we picked, I think, should be available. It'd be a bit of a shock if they're not. Let's not beat around the bush, Joe. Yeah. Bayern Munich, they lost at the weekend 5-1, which worries me a little bit because it could be a wounded animal tackle. Yeah. But there's loads of good players they've got. Let's just talk about the main man, Harry Kane. Yeah. I think he's got, 22 goals this season or something? 16
games or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely on fire. We know what he can do. We know what he can do against Manchester United. Yeah. And it's not just about stopping Harry Kane, but that is a big part of what we've got to do on Tuesday night.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of those players, isn't he, that we've kept him very quiet a lot in the past, but then he's going to sneak through some goals eventually because he's just too good. I do think that them losing at the weekend is good for us. I know there's, like you said, there's the wounded animal perspective of, them fighting back. But also, if you start losing games, it's hard to stop losing games and dropping points. We've seen City over the last month or so really struggle to win games. And you're getting that momentum. Tottenham, the same, this sort of mentality of, hang on a sec, we are a bit fragile here. We can concede a few goals. And I do think that will help us. It also helps us, I think, that, Bayer Leverkusen are doing so well in their league.
They're top, aren't they?
They are. And that's made Bayern, I would say, and we've seen this in the past with United, every game has more pressure on it. Yeah. It's great to, if you win your 10 points clear, you can rest in the league, you can rotate. I know there wouldn't be 10 points clear after 15 games. But Bayern Munich have been so used to having it their own way in the league that I do think that last season when they struggled a little bit and this season, there's fragilities there. We saw Upamecano buckle under the pressure against Man City last season. Yeah. There is possibility that, 5 goals. If you're conceding 5 goals, as Bayern Munich,
as well, just sorry, I didn't
rare.
mention Twitter.
No.
Was it Eintracht Frankfurt who were 7th? Yeah. They're not. It's not like they lost to Leverkusen or even Dortmund or whatever. No. They lost to a team that, 7th in the league. So it's one of those where you go, wow, that is a shock.
Yeah, and I do think if we get out and I know that they absolutely dominated in terms of how the game went, but the scoreline, we got 3 goals against them in the Allianz. If we can do something like that, and maybe, like you said, be a bit more defensive, there's a good chance we can win this game. They've also already qualified. I know they like getting 15 points in the group stages, but they're through. They might rotate because they need a big performance in the league at the weekend to bounce back from that. Yeah, United have got a chance here.
They have got a chance. With all that being said, give us your score prediction. Before you do, at home, get your phone out, film yourself in landscape, give us your score prediction for about 30 seconds, send it to paddockmatchday@gmail.com, and we'll use that in our pre-match build-up for the watch-along. Joe, give us your score prediction, please, my brother.
Thank you to people who sent it in at the weekend as well for the pre-match predictions. I've got to go for a win because what's the point otherwise?
Yeah.
I think we might get a little bit desperate. We might see that case of us hanging on at the end and we might drop a lead. But I'm going to go 2-1 United.
Love that.
I think Højlund will score. And I've also got a sneaky feeling that Anthony will score. We saw it against Barcelona last season. He likes a European night. And I think Anthony will get a goal, so I'm going to go 2-1 Manchester United. And I don't think we'll go through. I think one of the other two teams will win, but I think we'll win the game.
I'm not okay with that, but as we beat Bayern Munich at home and we don't go through, you can at least say we've restored a bit of pride and it's a big scalp and we've done our bit, and you can look back and dissect where it went wrong, and it won't have gone wrong in that last game. It went wrong in Copenhagen, Galatasaray and all them other results we had that went against us.
Also, I think it's the case as well that if we win this game, we're guaranteed at least Europa League. Because if those two draw and we win, we're through.
Yeah.
And if one of them wins and we win, we finish third.
There you go. So there is something to play for regardless.
Yes.
Not just pride. I'm with you. I think we can get a result.
Go on.
Call me crazy because it is Bayern Munich. I'll go 3-2. I think we'll concede. I think we'll score goals. I'm looking forward. I'm going to the game. Looking forward to it. Being absolutely pumping. These are the games as a fan you love. Bayern Munich in the Champions League. So yeah, I'm going to go 3-2 Manchester United. Let us know your score predictions. Joe, always a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Make sure you are hitting like, share, and subscribe. Joe is going to be here for the watch along on the game night as well. Plus, we'll have all the post match reaction. So make sure you check out all that good stuff. I've been Jay. That's been Joe. This has been the Bayern Munich preview. Thanks for watching.